October of 2013, after about a year and a half of negotiations with DISA, the Defense Information Systems Agency, we were successfully awarded our follow-on airtime services contract with Department of Defense. The unique aspect of that contract is the fact that it provides the actual 5-year, multi-year term under a fixed price to provide unlimited access to an unlimited number of utilizers or users of the network, primarily warfighters. So it actually provides an incentive for them to utilize the Iridium network for their requirements.
Okay, excellent. Well, I think that's, it's for, what's the period again?
It's 5 years.
5 years.
So it's 5-year fixed price for $400 million.
Wow, that's excellent. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about Iridium products, that are installed in ground vehicles, ships?
At Iridium, we actually design and manufacture what I would call the core building blocks that gets integrated into those products that you just described. Those building blocks are our modems, our 9602 or 9603 modems that we then provide to a host of our distributors and partners. They integrate them into a number of applications and solutions that eventually get embedded, if you will, in those platforms. So some examples are fixed-wing aircraft. We work with the partner DRS out of Fort Walton Beach, and they had a requirement and were tasked by the Air Force to actually provide beyond line-of-sight voice communications to the A-10 in Afghanistan. So in a rapid fielding, they were actually able to do that and provide that much needed air-to-ground communications for pilots operating in that compartmentalized terrain.
That's really interesting. I know the A-10 was extremely helpful in some of the battlefield actions that the United States was involved in. Let me ask you about the DoD, as you know, continues to invest very directly and indirectly in additional services on the Iridium network, such as distributed tactical communication services, which we refer to as the netted Iridium, as you do.
Correct.
Can you give us an idea why the Department of Defense favors netted Iridium?
So, great question, and probably one of the nearest applications near and dear to my heart. So, in 2004, we actually were approached by the Navy and the Marine Corps as they looked at trying to solve what they called at the time ship-to-objective maneuver or distributed operations. In essence, what the problem space that they had was trying to provide tactical handheld communications down to the dismounted disadvantaged warfighter. So the warfighter who could not get access to critical communications via UHF TACSAT channels. So over time, we designed a system under cooperative research and development agreement with the Department of Defense, and eventually placed a prototype system out there that we presented to Central Command, and they recognized they also had a problem space solving critical tactical communications in Afghanistan and Iraq. Now, the unique thing about Afghanistan is that it's a very compartmentalized terrain. So the unique aspect of the Iridium global footprint provides continuous communications in those compartmentalized terrain areas where typical geosynchronous or line-of-sight communications are challenged. So today, we still have roughly 8,000 tactical radios out in Afghanistan. So as troops are drawing down and coming home, they're having to rely more and more on mobile satellite services. So relying on DTCS is now part of their critical communications infrastructure.
That's really amazing. Let me ask you a question. Is that particular network still going to be there after the drawdown in 2014?
So it currently exists on what we describe as our Block 1, our current constellation in orbit today. As we migrate to our next generation of satellites, which we're very excited about, and our first launch occurs in 2015, that capability, that service will continue to be offered. We're continuing to upgrade and enhance that capability. So the service itself is actually available globally. The way the Iridium network operates is as a LEO near polar orbiting constellation, we provide communications to anywhere on the Earth's surface. So It's not geographically constrained or defined to Afghanistan or Iraq. That's where it's operating today because that's where the users are. But simply the users could pick up, take their radios, and move out to the Pacific Theater and operate the same capability there.
You know, with the reality of cyber warfare, everybody's talking about it today. Network security has become a very key concern of the Department of Defense, as we refer to as DoD, right? Can you discuss how the Iridium satellite network provides increased network security to the Department of Defense?
Sure. So I guess a couple examples is first and foremost, the Iridium network, although it provides great interoperability to other systems, when needed, it can actually act as a closed network as well. So from that perspective, we provide yet another form of communication to the warfighter. So at times when they need diverse communications or diversity across their communications architecture, if other networks become contested or congested, if you will, the Iridium network can actually provide that level of diversity for them to continue to do their mission. Secondly, because of the fact that our network operates globally, we have a persistent footprint over the air surface. Combining that with our signal strength of our satellites, a lot of our technical partners today are actually leveraging that persistent high power channel of the Iridium to help augment other signals such as GPS when GPS becomes denied or is in a constrained environment. So some of those systems are quite mature and they're actually being demonstrated today.
Scott, what developments of innovative low-cost technology and applications integrating mobile satellite products and services do you see developing in the MSS market segment in the future?
So thank you for the question, Richard. So first and foremost, I wanted to just make mention that Iridium has recently launched what we feel are three key products and services in the MSS space. The first of which is called Iridium Go. And this device is the first satellite-based Wi-Fi hotspot that will provide, or I should say enable, communications for a lot of the consumer, enterprise, and military market. So imagine, if you will, most of us today carry our smartphones, tablets, which always relies on traditional terrestrial connectivity. So Iridium Go now provides that extension, if you will, for those users who find themselves out of that terrestrial comm area. So as we all like to utilize our phones for sending images, texting, our email, and having access to those contacts at hand, now we provide that extension over satellite communications.
Now, can you discuss if there will be a more favorable regulatory environment? We're going to jump into regulatory environments here for government programs that you offer.
You know, I had an opportunity to talk with some of our folks in that, and right now, at least within the space that Iridium deals in with the U.S. government, primarily the Department of Defense, we're not finding a lot of regulatory constraints or hurdles out there. So, we'll obviously keep a close eye on that. But right now, we're quite happy with the way things are trending.
Okay, excellent. Would you like to provide us with some concluding comments?
Yes, I mentioned earlier, first of all, thank you for having me here today. I really appreciate that.
I appreciate that.
As I did mention, we're very excited at Iridium based on our new contract that we have at Department of Defense. We're working very closely with all levels in the DoD to continue to provide what we feel and what they have told us are mission critical communications to the warfighter. And as we look at our next generation launch occurring in 2015, we're very excited about being able to continue to provide into decades into the future much needed communication services to our warfighters.